Hi everybody, my name is Heather. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you the books I read in 2015 that disappointed me the most. This will be a little controversial. I don't want to offend anybody. To be perfectly honest, just because it disappointed me doesn't make it a bad book. It probably means that it was built up a little bit too much for me, and when I read it, it didn't meet my expectations. So again, if you have read it and you really like this book, I'm not trying to offend you. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. And with that said, let's just jump right into it. I'm going to start with Beautiful Ruins by Jess Walter. I read this in Hawaii, and I saw it originally on Pinterest as a recommended beach read. Now, the reason that it disappointed me a lot was because it was not a lighthearted beach read. The cover of this book is beautiful. Cliffside of an Italian island, which is one of the settings of the book, although it led me to believe that it would be the majority of the book when really it was maybe like a fifth of it, because it switches perspectives. It's really hard to describe this book, so if you're interested in the synopsis, go ahead and check it out on Goodreads. But mainly I was disappointed because I did not pick up the book that I thought I was going to be reading. So it was really, really slow. The ending was nice. It came together really nicely, but it didn't really make up for the fact that the book kind of jumps all over the place in a way that I didn't really like. So, The Beginning of Everything by Robin Schneider. This is a young adult contemporary about a boy who is really good at tennis, but he gets injured in a really bad car accident, so he's no longer the golden boy. It kind of fell flat to me. There were some funny parts, but honestly, it was just a little bit built up. So that's kind of what it is. And I don't really read a lot of contemporary to begin with. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. This was really built up for me, and I didn't like it at all. The cool thing about it were the real pictures that were incorporated into the story, so that was kind of an enjoyable reading experience, but the plot didn't interest me, the characters didn't interest me. I wasn't really rooting for anybody, and I like to root for people, and I'm not going to pick up the next book because I don't really care what happens to the characters. So if you're interested in more in-depth plot synopsis, go ahead and check out the book on Goodreads. Bridget Jones' Diary by Helen Fielding. I saw the movie of this book not too long before I read it, and I absolutely loved the movie. I feel like it was better as a movie than a book, and the book, I don't know, like I didn't like the character of Bridget Jones in the book as much as I liked her in the movie. Bridget Jones annoyed me in the book more than in the movie, and I kind of wanted to be like The Diviners by Libba Bray. Now, it was good, the plot was interesting, the characters were interesting, but it went by way too slowly for me. And also, in comparison, I mean, the Great and Terrible Beauty series, I loved that series. I read it so many times in high school. It made me love Libba Bray, and so I was really excited to see that she had a new series. So I picked it up immediately, but it just was way too slow, and it didn't, again with the characters, I wasn't really rooting for anybody. I didn't fall in love with anybody. I didn't ship anybody. So I don't know. I'm probably not going to continue this series. The To All the Boys I Loved Before duology with To All the Boys I Loved Before and P.S. I Still Love You. Now, again, I don't read a lot of contemporary, so I was kind of trying to broaden my horizons here, and I don't know, these were just built up a lot, and I wasn't really interested in them. It was kind of cute, like this one was really cute, but then the way the story ended it just left a bad taste in my mouth. I didn't like, I just didn't like how it ended. This girl writes letters whenever she like decides to fall out of love with a boy, and she doesn't expect any of them to get sent out, but they get sent out somehow. So it's awkward and cute and funny, but it's not what I wanted in terms of character development. The Fiery Cross by Diana Gabaldon. I loved Outlander. I liked Dragonfly and Amber. I loved Voyager. And then Drums of Autumn was kind of like, okay, there's some action. But then The Fiery Cross was the 5th book in the Outlander series, and it just was so slow and uninteresting, and this huge chunk of the book felt like it didn't even need to happen. So, yeah, I just wanted to mention that book because I was really disappointed by that one. I do plan on continuing this series this year, but after I read that one, I had to be like, I'm done for 2015 with this book series. Next, Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. Now, I don't want any hate on this one because I actually do plan on continuing the series, but it was built up so much that I thought it was going to be like absolutely incredible, but it was really annoying. I am kind of interested in one of the characters. Is it Warner? I think his name is Warner. I liked him, and I've heard that his character gets even better as the series progresses, but in terms of Juliet and I don't know, it was a while since I've read this, but her guy, that whole relationship, I just don't get it. I don't understand why it's such a big deal. So, but the premise of this is Juliet basically can kill people by touching them, and in the end it gets a little like X-Men-y, which is kind of cool, but besides that, I feel like there's absolutely nothing special about this book. But again, I do want to continue reading it because I have heard that the next 2 books are really good. Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I don't know why I picked up this book in the first place, besides the fact that I thought it had a really cool cover. It just looked like it was going to be really intense. I mean, there's like blood dripping from this crown, but it wasn't. It was just kind of boring, and I didn't want to root for any of the characters. The romance was not believable to me. Yeah, it kind of was meh, so I'm not going to continue it. The Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black. Not a bad book. I just don't really know why I picked it up in the first place, besides the fact that Kat from Katie Tastic recommended it as a really good standalone. So, but other than that, I mean, it's got vampires, and I haven't really been interested in vampires since high school. What mostly disappointed me about The Coldest Girl in Cold Town was the romance aspect that really wasn't very present in 99% of the book, but then at the very end, it was like, love! And I'm like, why? Does this have to happen? I wasn't really rooting for any of the characters. I didn't really care if any of them survived, and that's not what you want. Those are the books that most disappointed me in 2015. If you disagree with me, feel free to discuss in the comments. And I'm sure there are a lot of books I read and really liked that you were like, oh, why? So that's what's really cool about BookTube, is we can share our opinions and learn from each other. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!